male children. I said, the mother of Hillary Clinton is a proud mother wherever she is today. The mother of Ellen, the president of Liberia, today would be a proud mother if she was still here. Even my mother would be a proud woman. My mom used to say, when I remember growing up and I had all those things tied into my, oh, you have to keep this hair because you're going to have to be able to wear your wig and gown. I mean, she thought of me as a thing of pride, like not different from the male child. So we need to put that into the heads of the women, especially in the villages, that the female child is as important as that male child. And that child needs to be in school. I think the Deputy High Commissioner is already telling me, I think we have to work on the quota system. This quota system of having to put every female child in school in Nigeria.
And I would love you to hold that thought, because I know everybody's creative juices are working right now. We'll take a break and we'll be right back. Stay with us.
So much.
Welcome back to Lagos, and welcome back to the conversation, Women in Leadership. The hashtag today, this International Women's Day, is Be Bold for Change. I've had a wonderful panel here who have been tackling so many questions, and of course a wonderful audience. I'll just take some last words from the Deputy High Commissioner, who had something to say just before we went on the break.
Thank you very much. I've got loads to say, but I will try to be brief. I mean, for me, Be Bold for Change is a wonderful message. It's a message about action this year, right? Which is about each and every one of us in an individual capacity, but also in an institutional, organizational capacity, to get out of our comfort zone, to sometimes feel the fear, but do it anyway, and to just challenge ourselves in terms of what we're going to do individually, institutionally, to make the world a more equal place and to promote the rights of women and girls. And I think that's an extraordinary thing to do. I want to say that we cannot do it as just women, right? We have to partner with men. We have to focus on educating our sons, not just our daughters, teaching them respect, because actually this is about respect, this is about equal rights, this is about human rights. And I think it's about partnership, absolutely. And I think that also means that to go forward, we're going to have to have a stronger movement. We're going to have to think about legislative change, as was mentioned, but also changing the informal rules of the game, and all of us are responsible for that. And it's about education, very much so, and making sure that the girl child and women are at the heart of everything that we do, be it business, be it culture, be it government policy and legislation. And we can do that. We must commit to that.
There was something you did last night at your place, and that was you urged everyone to make a commitment. So I'm going to get a commitment from every one of you, every one of my panelists, Omotala inclusive. So just in a few seconds, just tell us what you're committed to doing this International Women's Day.
Well, at our company, Fine and Country, we're committed to getting more women on the property ladder, because we feel that that's a very important tool to financial empowerment.
Okay.
I think it's going to be every child off the street. We're going to have a partnership between the Deputy High Commissioner, Omotala, and Udo here. Yes, we're going to work hand in hand to make sure that we put every child on that street, especially the girl child, in school.
And Obi is not here to give his own commitment, but I guess we'll get that from him later. Omotala, your commitment.
Well, I'm committed with one to make sure that all girl children, go to school, and like she said, get them off the street. I thought that was a very brilliant.
Every child off the street.
Yes, absolutely.
Girl child, especially off the street, especially during school hours. And lastly, everyone should please go sign girl count, or go pick a number for the girl count on Wonder.org, because we're trying to give that to the government to let them know how bad the situation.
I'm so sorry. You weren't holding the mic initially. They just got it to you. So if you don't know, I just recap what your commitment was again.
So I said earlier that my mission is with One.org, and of the opinion that, like she said, all children, all girl children, should be off the street, and within school hours, to ensure that they're not on the street. All girls should be in school. As One.org is also launching some girl count. We want everyone to please go to One.org and pick a number, because at the end of the day, or at the end of this campaign, they're going to present that to legislation for them to know how many children how many girls really are out of school. 130 million plus globally.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Omosola. Thank you, Omosola, for coming. Thank you, Udo, Toke, and of course, British Deputy High Commissioner Laurie Bufis. It's been a pleasure having all of you here. I feel so honored, being in the midst of great women. And thank you from Lagos. Thanks for joining the conversation. I'll toss it over to Maokwe now in Abuja. Thanks for joining the conversation. I'll toss it over to Maokwe now in Abuja.
Well, thank you so much, Amarachi. Just before we wrap up here, I'd like to give the mic once again to the High Commissioner, Paul Arkwright.
Thank you very much, Maupi. Thank you, Amara, and the panel in Lagos, but of course here, the panel here. We've had some fascinating discussions, and I've learned quite a lot, including that this is a conversation that will go on, we hear possibly for 176 years until women reach parity globally. I think it's a very important conversation. I think we can do more in this country. I think we, the British government, are doing more, not least through DFID. I think in our private lives, in our personal lives, in our commitments to our children, to ourselves, we can do more. And I like what Law was saying in Lagos about every individual having a responsibility to help with this. So I will commit to that. I have 2 children, 1 boy, 1 girl, ensuring that my boy is respectful of women. And the role of men is absolutely critical. And I think it's really important that, yes, women, as Nana was saying, should seize the opportunities which they are given because they are there, but men should not stand in the way of women seizing those opportunities. And sometimes, perhaps too often, that happens. And I think it's important that men understand that we do need to step aside occasionally to make sure that women do indeed get those opportunities in order for them to seize them. My last point would have been a question which I would have had, and maybe this is part of the continuation of the discussion. All the women here, I suspect, are very well educated. All the men here, I suspect, are very well educated. We have all had the massive privilege of education and of opportunity. There are a lot of women and girls and boys and men who do not have that opportunity in Nigeria, but not just in Nigeria, all around the world. There is a gap between those of us who have had that privilege of opportunity, that privilege of education, and those who have been denied that opportunity and that privilege. And I think the challenge to all of us is, what do we do to bridge that gap and make sure that the people who do not have the same opportunities that we have had can benefit from those. And that's what I pledge the British government here in Nigeria is doing, not least through my friend Kemi, the Department for International Development, to ensure that we do our very best to make sure that happens. Thank you.
Well, Honourable beg your pardon, yes, the Honourable Deputy, beg your pardon, High Commissioner Paul Arkwright, thank you so much for your comment. And I'm afraid that we've come to the end of the program. I know that people were dying to give their comments, but my apologies. We've come to the end of our program, Women in Leadership. We have to thank all our panelists. Honourable Nena, we have to thank you. Esther, thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for coming, Honourable, all the way from Maiduguri. And Sarah, thank you for coming on the program. That's it. We have to also say thank you to the British High Commission for partnering with us on this very special day for women. To all the men who support women, we say thank you. And to all women out there, we say again, Happy International Women's Day. Thank you for watching. I'm Maokwe Ogun. It's bye for now.